What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Speed Fire Fab YouTube channel. You're probably wondering where I've been. Well, I haven't posted anything. We're coming up on 2 months since the last video. Just one of those situations, life gets in the way, work gets in the way, never really enough time or energy or money. Or as many of y'all know, this is just my hobby, so I do it when I can, when I feel like it. But we're back, and this is gonna be episode 1 or part 1 of our 3,000-mile road trip in the OBS across, I think we did 9 states, 9 or 10 states, 2020, 983 miles, I believe, in 13 days. We had a great time. We had a few minor issues along the way. Thankfully, nothing major. Truck made it back in one piece, driving under its own power. So that's a pretty huge accomplishment. Pretty happy with all of that. Happy with the truck overall. Happy with how everything went down. Like I said, we had a blast on the road trip. We got to see a lot of cool sights and bucket list items that never seen before. I've been trying over the last 2 months to get this video done, but honestly, I bit off a little bit more than I can chew. It's fairly easy. Well, it's not, I mean, none of it's easy, but it's not too difficult taking a week's worth of videos, working in the shop, you know, putting them together, editing them, taking out the nonsense and the pauses and all that stuff and cleaning them up, making it into a video worth watching for you guys, hopefully. But because it was 13 days straight of videoing and pictures and, you know, filling up the SD card on the camera and having to offload it to my hard drive or my computer, what ended up happening is I think I had almost 1,100 files, both videos and pictures from the trip in those 13 days. And I learned a valuable lesson that sometimes when you wipe the camera and then you start over, you kind of lose that number sequence. So what happened is I had 1,100 pictures and videos that are not necessarily in order, and it's very hard to tell, like just looking at the snapshot of the thumbnail of the video, you know, where it falls in the timeline. So I literally had to watch everything 3 or 4 or 5 times, piece it together, replay it 2 or 3 times just to make sure I've got the timeline right and everything's happening, you know, in the right order. And it's been one heck of a headache, one heck of a challenge. Many days I've sat down and tried to do it, and it just, I get 5-10 minutes in and I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I want to go do something else. And I close the computer and I go do something else. So it's taken just about everything I got to get to this point, but I set out on this goal to create this YouTube channel, not just for whoever wants to watch it, but more or less for myself, to prove to myself that I can do it and, you know, that I can stay with it. And it's like anything new, it's a massive learning curve. Like, it looked a little easier when I started. I knew it was gonna be difficult, but again, this is the largest project to date, I guess, I've done on this channel. So, you know, I'm learning things the hard way. But I finally got part 1 done. It looks like it's gonna be a 3-part series. There's just too much. I want to keep it 45 minutes to an hour per video. Again, there's 13 days and 1,000+ pictures that are a combination between my phone and my camera, and that's been an ordeal just getting it all together. So I want to hopefully make it worth watching, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to attempt to do it right. So yeah, it's taken me 2 months to get there. This whole road trip, I filmed a lot of stuff, but I did not film everything. You know, it was a time for me and my wife to road trip together, enjoy our time together, spend some time together, because we both work a lot and don't really get to do that. So there's a lot that happened off camera. I didn't film it. I wasn't going to anyways. This was more of, you know, I want to film about the truck project and also kind of showcase some of the highlights of the things we did and the things we got to see. And then the finer details and the in-between moments, you know, off camera, we got to enjoy that on our own. But 4 days basically of the trip, the good, the bad, the ugly. Thankfully, we really didn't have any ugly. If you're here and you're watching this and you made it this far in this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of this and the first part of this trip, and I hope you'll come back and watch the rest of the trip as I get it uploaded. So thank y'all for being here. Let's see where the road takes us. Well, it's road trip day. We're leaving the house about an hour behind schedule, but honestly, that's not too bad.
Not at all. Especially if somebody thought he was sick.
Yeah, I felt like crap last night. I can't say I feel 100% today, but I definitely feel a lot better. Yeah, allergies something going on. But anyways, we're in a truck. We're about to pull out the driveway. First stop is Buc-ee's, and I don't know, about 80 miles, I guess. Fill up on some snacks, see how we're doing on fuel. That'll be the longest the truck's ever driven in one go, so give it a once over and get back on the road. Yeah, it's early, even though it's not early, but get back on the road. And first stop tonight is Hot Springs, Arkansas, so about a 6-hour drive. Should be fun.
On to the adventure.
Well, we made it to stop one, which is Buc-ee's. Get some snacks and check the truck over. Weird thing is, it says we're at 100% fuel, which can't be accurate. But the truck's been running flawlessly. I mean, we put 80, it's probably like 90 miles, because I accidentally hit the X when I got on the toll road and cleared it back out. Been about 90 miles, 200 degree engine temp, 2100 RPMs at 70, added up to 85, so we run pretty well. The exhaust is a little on the slightly loud side. It's not obnoxious, but it could be a little quieter. AC definitely gets a little heat soaked after a while.
He's going to be tired of me asking him huh all the time because I can't hear him.
Yeah, it's honestly the sweet spot, I think, of the exhaust, and there's a little bit of exhaust vibration you can feel in the floor. That kind of goes away at about 78, but I don't really want to run 78 if that's going to mean terrible fuel mileage, because we got a long way to go. So
Let's figure it out.
we're going to see how much it takes. The number will be a little skewed because it's got a few miles on it from the gas station to home, and then I reset it at home, and then I had to accidentally reset it again. So at least get a baseline, maybe an idea, and go from there. Yep. That good old 93. See how our rear end's holding up. Still leaking a little bit. I don't see any other leaks besides a ton of water. I don't have anything melted. No coolant, no AC. Ain't got no other leaks. Sweet. That's a lot of water. Check our hubs. Say it's all good. 7.8 gallons. So we're getting about 12.8. Honestly, that's not terrible. Just kind of shooting for 12, so Alright, let's go get some snacks. Back on the road. Well, it's going good till it wasn't. I got no throttle pedal. Whole bunch of codes for throttle position. I don't know, strange. Something new, I guess. Oh well. Back on the road. Well, here's an unplanned stop. AC quit working, or felt like it was blowing hot, at least we thought, a few miles back. First we thought we was crazy, like a loose connection. And then we hit the fuel pressure safety again. So here I am lowering that down. Thought we had it all figured out. Little heavy throttle right there to get in front of some people, and once again we hit the limit. So I just got on my phone and made some adjustments and basically just turned the limit off. Figure I can watch all my gauges. If there is a problem, I can, be able to figure out if it's going lean or causing any issues. So back on the road and see what happens from here on out. Well, AC gremlins again, loose connection, compressor's not kicking on. It's not super hot outside, but it's hot enough that with the windows up it's uncomfortable, so pull over, try to fix it. This one kind of gave me some heck. Wasn't as quick as the first time. Pretty much think that the sensor is just getting hot and it's not happy, so I feel like this is probably going to be a pretty common occurrence on this trip. The OBS did good today, 356 miles. Cruising about 75 to 80, averaging 13 miles per gallon. I'd say that's a win. Well, it's day 2 of our road trip. Get the old OBS checked out and make sure everything's good to go. Good on fluids, we ain't got no leaks. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is, but it's left these little white fuzzy balls and some kind of sticky sap, so thank goodness I ain't got nice paint, but we're gonna have to get a car wash. Very peaceful here though. It's like 70 degrees in Arkansas. Check the oil, oil's good. Still not 100% sure what this air conditioning problem is, but oh, my shirt just stuck to the fender. Nice little house we stayed in last night. So yeah, we're gonna get loaded up when we hit the road. According to Google, that's white flies leaving honeydew residue. Very interesting. These are all over the tree. OT compressor issue strikes again. So I think our pressure sensor is getting hot because turbo. So I had this extra spark plug boot I brought with me. I had to cut the end of it off because it has this little ring, and this ring wouldn't go over the plug. So I'll put that over there. We're gonna try it, and hopefully that'll last a little longer. We had zero business to go to Bass Pro Shops, but once again, never been to the pyramid, so since we passed right by it, we had to make a quick stop and check it out. It's pretty cool. Well, good morning. It's day 3 of our road trip. We're somewhere northwest Tennessee, about an hour outside of Nashville. Pretty peaceful. Really tall trees. We stayed in this cool little hobbit hole house. Here at Rockin' Refuge. I'll put the link in the comments. Really small door, but it's normal height on the inside, so that's good. It's a really cool property out here. They got a tree house you can stay in, and also an old school log cabin. You can also rent their big barn for parties and things. It's pretty nice. It is in the middle of nowhere. There's no internet, there's no cell service. It's 20 minutes to the nearest town. There's also no cell service there if you have T-Mobile, so just a FYI. Good news is we don't have none of them sap tree bug things we had yesterday. We've got a couple problems to address in the truck though. Didn't get it on video, but we had to stop and basically bypass this pressure switch. She was not happy. This heat shrink worked for a little while and then it didn't. Not real sure about that. Got to try to make this a little bit better. But the AC was blowing ice cold. And then after 3 hours of driving when we got here, we found this. Ice cold air conditioning. It's wild. Like the fact that it's frozen up all the way around the turbo too is crazy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing then. It's wild. She's been running a little bit rough. Kind of think that's got something to do with the altitude change. We're also randomly not really losing fuel pressure, but when you want to step on the throttle and pass somebody, fuel pressure drops just enough to get into the safety
And it basically puts it in limp mode again, which we had that problem on day one. I thought the safety was too high, so I lowered the safety, but now it's back into the safety, so it's strange. I don't know. We also got issues with the fuel gauge not working properly, so we'll see about that here in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna try to fix fuel gauge. It's annoying. It's basically like 30% off on the fuel level. So I've got it in here 0 to 90 ohms, which is what the sending unit is supposed to read, but it doesn't read properly. So this is reading 0.8 volts. I got a feeling this 240 ohm resistor that we have to run through on the ECU is causing issues. And it's like falsifying the signal or altering the signal. But it doesn't work if you do it any other way. Oh, since it's reading voltage, I wonder if we can just trick it. It would be easy if I just ran it out, and it's what I should have done in the beginning. So if I change it to voltage, which you can only do 0 to 5 volts, you still got to go through the pull-up resistor. I know for a fact the other way around, when it got to 60%, we were at close to 20, so that doesn't math out either. This is backwards. 0 to 5's our only option. Fuel tank volume you can't change, it's just like stuck on 10. So I think I basically just have to trick it. I don't know. So would higher ohms equal more fuel or less fuel? We did 130 ohms. That should equal less, right? I don't know. I can't really look anything up because we don't have internet. I'm just kind of guessing here. So based on my math, we should be around half a tank. Based on the mileage we've been and the average of 13 to 13 and a half, we should be around half a tank. Just showing 58% fuel right now. It's kind of leveling off though. So what I did is I basically changed my ohms from 0 to 90, which is what this sending unit's supposed to be. It's what factory GM is. I did 0 to 160 because the difference of it's on a 250 ohm pull-up resistor. So I did 250 minus 90 and I get 160. So 160 is the difference. Like I said, I don't know how right this is or wrong this is, but I feel like it's reading more accurately than it was. Ultimately, I really just need to run it. I need to run it out. I need to run the tank completely out. And I plan to do that this trip. It's just a little scary on the highway when there ain't no shoulder. Because I have a gas can in the back so we can fill up and get to a station. But honestly, if I could dial it in, just tweaking things back and forth like this before we go to that extreme, that would be best. So I'm going to leave it at that because again, it's showing 52%. I want to change a couple of these gauges real quick while we're in here. I don't really need to know the intake temps, but I would like to know our transmission temp. Battery voltage, I don't really need to know that either. I mean, I have it on another screen. I can just tab down to another screen. I'm going to go ahead and add a second trip meter for fuel mileage. Make it a little bit easier so I don't have to do the math as we're driving. I don't really need the odometer, I guess. That can be, I can easily find that later. We gotta go tell it how to clear trip 2, so that's gonna be the, let's make that the O. Reboot that. All right, we got our main total trip mileage. And we're gonna have our trip to, we got transmission temp. Yeah, sitting at 50% fuel. I think that will work. Save this map. All right, now we need to connect into the ECU. I want to check our fuel pressure settings. All right, so where is it at? Sensors, fuel pressure. See, I've got our differential fuel pressure minimum at 40, which is what the system uses to go into the safety. So if it gets below safety, below the 40, triggers the safety, which is annoying. So I need to turn the fuel pump on and measure, see what our pressure is without the engine running. Change that to low. Fuel pressure is 67, which is basically where it should be. So I'm not sure there because our base fuel pressure is right. It reads about 55 while it's idling. And it seems like as it gets hotter and the like further we drive, if I try to pass somebody and I got to stand on the pedal a little bit, it'll drop closer down to 40 on the gauge, and then when it hits 40, it hits the limit, and it just basically, it cuts ignition, cuts fuel, cuts everything, and it kind of stumbles. Thankfully, I found a setting in the tune where it will auto reset after, I think I got it set to 3 seconds, because before I had to pull over, literally reboot the whole system. That was annoying, especially cruising on the interstate. So now you just let off throttle, let fuel pressure stabilize a little bit, and then 3 seconds later you can get back in it. You just got to watch that gauge and not let it go below 40. It's kind of strange. It's almost like it's not, because it's got a boost line going in that regulator. It should be, I guess I'm not even really in boost when that happens either. It won't even let me get the boost sometimes. I don't know, strange. I do want to try to rig this up. I really think that sensor was getting too hot, but I never could get this shield to work because it was already too hot. So we're gonna see, because it's set overnight and everything's cold, to make the shield work and keep everything from icing up. It don't look pretty, but should work. We're gonna check the oil. I wouldn't say it's over full or has any fuel in it. That was my other worry, is I had a leaking injector just dumping fuel, but at the same time that would show up, or that should show up on the air fuel gauge. It wasn't. I don't know, aside from little AC quirks, fuel gauge just being annoying and not being accurate. Really the only issue we got is the rear end leaking, which pretty sure it's made a mess under there, but y'all can't really see it, but it's dripping off the bed. I'm gonna have to check that sooner or later. Probably sooner than later. All right, well, I'm gonna get off of here, and I think we're gonna explore this area a little bit on our own and enjoy our time together and on our vacation, and then we'll go back from there and go to town maybe.
Well, the closest town to where we're staying is about 20 minutes. They had a Napa store, so I'm gonna go in here and see if they've got a AC pressure gauge that I can buy or rent or use or something to see if we're low on Freon. Kind of thinking that's why it iced up yesterday, but I think it may also be the fact that I had to put a jumper wire in the pressure switch because it completely melted on the last leg of the trip into town yesterday, and I'm just wondering if it's running wide open and that's causing some trouble. So they had a can of Freon with the gauge on it I bought, and checking here to see if we're good on Freon or not. It was 100% full, so I just kept the jumper wire in there. I ordered a pressure switch because they didn't have one on hand. It'll be here in the morning. I'll grab that on our way out of town, throw that in real quick, and hopefully we'll be back on the road and no more AC trouble. Yeah, this is a cool little Napa store, a little mom and pop, old school store. Parts on the parts falling off the shelves and not enough shelf room, and it was just a cool experience. You don't get to see that very often back in Texas. So well, after exploring some of the local towns and some antique shops, we're back at our Hobbit house, grilling up some steaks for the evening, listening to the sound of the forest and the sound of silence. It's honestly pretty relaxing.
Well, it's day 3 of the road trip. We're getting ready to leave our little Hobbit house in Tennessee, head up towards Nashville. Check that out for a split second, and then head north into Bowling Green, Kentucky.
This was pretty unique at the zoo. They had an on-site vet center where you could actually watch through the windows them performing procedures, surgeries on animals. They didn't have any going on while we were there, but it was still pretty cool to see. I don't know that most people would have the stomach to watch it though. made it to Beach Bend Raceway Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Beautiful drive coming up 2-lane road, turning into the track. It's got to be the most beautiful track entrance I think I've ever been to. They had a lot of signs and a lot of cones telling you kind of where to go, but honestly, the further we got in, the worse the directions got, the worse the signs got. And at one point we ended up getting a little confused. The people they had directing seemed confused. It looked like it was very well organized, but also very chaotic and unorganized. Since we got into town early enough to get the registration on Thursday, we figured it'd be better than trying to do it on Friday, the first day of the show. Didn't know what traffic and people would be like, so figured we'd get in here early and get it knocked out. Had a lot of signs explaining where to go here, but I ended up walking in the exit and then got all confused and took a few minutes to find the right table to get checked in, but we got our credentials. Well, that's going to conclude part 1 of the 3,000-mile road trip. Hopefully, if things go to plan, which they never do around here, that next week I'll drop part 2, followed by part 3. But honestly, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I'm going to do that, because I don't know. It's going to get done when it gets done, and I'll upload it here when it gets uploaded, and that's how it's going to be. Life's busy right now, so you'll just have to sit back and wait. I hope y'all enjoyed the trip so far. Hopefully I showcased enough, I shared enough details of some of the things we did, so that, if you and your wife, you and your family, or, you and a buddy, whatever, just you want to get in one of your hot rods or a project, or, hit the road, like go enjoy America. If you're in another country, go enjoy your country. Like the point of this video series is just get out and enjoy what you can, enjoy life any way possible. It looks different for all of us. You might have a brand new car that's not a hot rod. Jump in that and take that. You might have an old beater that, as long as you can work on it and you're comfortable with it, take that. It doesn't have to be a nice project or something you just did an engine swap on, or, a high dollar bill. You don't have to spend a ton of money. My point is, whatever walk of life you're in, like, get out there and enjoy it, however it makes you happy. This is happiness for me, so, get out there and find that happiness for yourself and take that road trip. Jump out there and take that risk that, I said it, I think in the last video, that this is a scary thought to jump in a brand new truck that I've dumped a lot of money into and hit the road with a plan of making it the whole way and making it back. But honestly, we didn't really know if that was going to be the case. It's scary, but you got to get out there. And it was one of the best things I've ever done. Like, we had a ton of fun, and hopefully y'all can have not as much fun, but you can have some fun sitting watching it through the TV and, enjoy some of it with us. So thanks for stopping by the shop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next part.